Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Squared Circle Speak. We know we missed a couple videos here on the channel. We had a little personal stuff happen over the weekend, but we're going to hit you with 3 videos in a row here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming next week. I am Ryan. With me, as always, is Nathan. We're going to do it a little differently. We may sound a little different because Nathan's on the road right now. But we're going to knock these out, and we're going to have 3 videos for you this week instead of the normal 5. But again, we'll be right back on normal schedule next week.
Yeah, you got to keep up the hustle, man. I'm doing it when I can.
Yeah. Kind of had some stuff going on this weekend. We both kind of just, couldn't find time to get a recording in, as we normally record all this in one setting. But so we know it was a while ago, but we are going to be doing today on Wednesday. We're going to be doing our AEW Dynasty reactions. I know it happened a couple weeks ago, but we're still gonna hit you with the Dynasty reactions because it's been a little bit, and we never got time to talk about it. So we're gonna talk about Dynasty. The pay-per-view that was like a couple weeks ago.
Dave Meltzer gets his star ratings out like. Yeah, I mean, Dave Meltzer gets his star ratings like freaking a week and a half after it happened, so I think we're okay.
That's very true. So, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, we're on par with Dave Meltzer.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's start off. Let's start off with this. Let's do this.
Yeah. I'm trying. My computer is being a little bitch. So, we might have to go by memory of what happened. All right.
That's fine.
AEW Dynasty. I got this. I'll have to go to my other browser because apparently Google doesn't want to work today. All right. Dynasty kicked off. We did a couple pre-show matches. The 0 hour. We're not going to talk about all of those because none of those really mattered too much. There wasn't a lot on the 0 hour besides the 6-man championship match to unify or have 2 I don't know what it was for. I don't know if it unified the 2 titles.
No. They're just double champs.
Why? Anyway, the Gun Club or the Bullet Club beat Billy Gunn and God dang, the Acclaimed to become tag team, the 6-man champions of both ROH and the AEW. So there you go.
Yeah, it was a decent match. A lot better than watching Billy Gunn squash Jay White.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a fan of that either, but God damn. Everything's fucking. Okay. Also on the pre-show, Trent Beretta defeated Matt Sydal and Katsuyori Shibata and Orange Cassidy beat Shane Taylor Promotions. So that's what other happened on the pre-show. The actual show kicked off with the Continental Championship match between Kazuchika Okada versus Pac. What did you think of this match, Nathan?
Oh, this was awesome. This
good way to kick off the show. Really, really kicked off the show in a good way.
Yeah, they went like 20-something minutes, and had a good ending. Okada, instead of getting his knees up when Pac did the Black Arrow, he got his feet up and hit him right in the face. So that was badass.
Yeah, this was a tremendous match, as we all thought it would be. I mean, we both kind of thought it was going to be a good match going in, and it was. And Okada ended up defeating Pac to retain his Continental Championship, which, again, predictable, but predictable is sometimes good. And you don't always need to be unpredictable. Sometimes doing the predictable thing is the smart thing. And that's what they did here. Very, very good way to kick off the show. Fantastic match. The second match was a trios match. House of Black versus Copeland, Kingston, and Briscoe. Did not go the way I thought it was going to go.
Yeah, it didn't go the way I thought it was going to go either, but it was this was probably the second worst match of the night. It was It was okay. It just kind of dragged on a little too long, like these matches kind of do. These 6-man matches where they go all over the place. But yeah, ended with Malachi Black hitting the black mist on Adam Copeland, and they get the win. Ryan, does this mean Malachi Black's actually going to do a singles match on a pay-per-view?
Well, I don't know. I know Dynamite tonight, as we record this, or as this comes out on Wednesday, I think Copeland's defending the title against a member of House of Black, but it hasn't specified which one. So it very well could be Matthews or King. But he is defending the TNT Championship against one of the members of House of Black. So could be maybe Malachi's going to wrestle tonight. I don't know.
I'd rather see it at Double or Nothing.
Yeah, I'd rather see that at pay-per-view. I would appear. Looks like that feud is going to continue because Copeland's probably going to beat whoever. It's probably going to be King or Matthews, and then Copeland will beat them tonight, and then it'll move to a pay-per-view match at some point with Malachi. Hopefully. And then maybe he'll leave. He'll lose one match and then leave the company. The next match was Willow Nightingale versus Julia Hart for the TBS Championship. This went exactly the way you thought it was going to go.
Yeah, it's very short. I think it was the shortest match of the night, but I think it's
minutes.
because, I think Julia Hart really was injured. Even though she was injured, though, she still did a moonsault and did some other stuff. So she was gutting it out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it came out after this night that Julia Hart is injured. Willow's stipulation for this match was Sky Blue and Chris Statlander were barred from ringside. What a stipulation. She could have picked anything in the world. And that's what she chose.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, very short. And then afterwards, Mercedes kind of got involved with Willow. So obviously Mercedes will get the title match at Double or Nothing against Willow Nightingale now. And she's going to try to get her, I guess, payback on Willow for beating her for the Strong Championship or whatever championship Willow beat her for.
Yeah. How do you feel about that, Ryan?
I don't like the fact that she's coming in and just going for the TBS Championship and getting a title match right away. It seems kind of not what AEW usually does. Usually you have to earn a title match in this company. And she's just having one handed to her.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, I don't really like that. But other than that.
Not only that, but, you're going to have her come in and at first, everybody's cheering her, but you're going to have her, if she comes in and she beats Willow Nightingale, one of the top faces in AEW, I mean, the fans are probably going to turn on her. She hasn't wrestled this whole time, and then she wrestles one match and beats one of the beloved baby faces.
Yeah, and I feel like she's going to turn heel. I feel like she is way better as a heel anyway. I think her character, this all about the money and all this, the boss stuff, that's a heel. But the CEO, like, that doesn't scream face to me. So obviously I think she's going to turn heel against Willow here, and then she works so much better as a heel. So, but I don't know. It's very weird to have her come in and potentially just beat Willow Nightingale, and Willow Nightingale's going to have like a 1 month reign.
Well, we need some shorter reigns around here.
No,
we've been having year-long title reigns all the time.
I get that, but not a month. That's too short. Give her a couple months.
I'd say hot potato this bitch.
I mean, it is the TBS Championship. I mean, what's it going to hurt? We're going to have a new champion every month. All right. The next match was for the International Championship as Roderick Strong defeated Kyle O'Reilly. This was just a beat the shit out of each other match.
Yeah, this match was awesome.
If you like UFC and MMA, this was your type of match because this match was hard hitting, ridiculous.
Yeah, they made it realistic as hell. Let me tell you, Roderick Strong was still doing all his backbreakers. He was doing a bunch of different kinds of backbreakers.
Yeah.
The end of Heartache backbreaker at the end when he just let him go. Like he put him up the suplex position, just let him fly, and he came down hard on his knees, dude. It was brutal.
It kind of shocked me that Roderick won because Kyle O'Reilly just came back, seemed kind of primed to win this match, and then O'Reilly loses a strong, and so I guess the undisputed kingdom is not all doom and gloom right now. They have one title still, so and they seem to be on the same page, kind of, other than Wardlow. So looks like they might be kicking Wardlow out here soon.
I think so.
I think Wardlow's going to reunite with MJF and then feud with these guys. They're probably just going to redo the what were they called? Them and
they
FTR.
Shit. Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever they were called.
Wait, the Pinnacle.
The Pinnacle. They're probably just going to redo the Pinnacle, honestly. And then have the Pinnacle versus the Undisputed Kingdom. And that'll be their blood and guts match. Calling it right now.
There you go.
All right, the next match. FTW rules for the FTW Championship. Chris Jericho defeated Hook. It happened, ladies and gentlemen. Hook is officially going to be leaving AEW.
Well, yeah, this is the worst match of the show.
The fans were chanting, "Please retire."
Yeah.
You don't want that during a match.
Yeah, it was really bad. And now on Dynamite, apparently, for some reason, Big Cass is going to join Jericho. So apparently Jericho's going to form yet another stable.
What the fuck, man? It's just...
Yeah.
He's had 3 already.
Yeah, it's going to be called the Learning Tree, Ryan.
You know, what's shitty about that is Brian Myers did that exact same gimmick in TNA. Just a couple weeks, like 2 years ago. He had a group called the Learning Tree.
Oh my god!
And it was him, and he had a bunch of young people with him. So he was in the Jericho role. So Jericho's really just ripping off that entire thing.
Wow.
All right, yeah. So that not much else to say about that match. Jericho won, wasn't good. Don't know where they're going with this, why they're doing it. They just assumed Hook's leaving, and they wanted to keep the FTW Championship on TV for whatever reason. I don't know why. It's not a real title. It's not sanctioned. So if Hook left, you didn't have to talk about it. You could just let it be gone. Why do you want this title to stay around?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, and Jericho changed the name. I don't remember what he changed the name to. Wasn't it called For the World or something like that?
No, Jesus.
He used to say, it's called For the World Championship now. Instead of Fuck the World, which is whatever it's for. All right. Toni Storm defeated Thunder Rosa to retain the AEW Women's World Championship.
Yeah, this is a pretty good match. Toni Storm, didn't do a lot of gimmicky stuff in this match. She just straight up wrestled her.
Yeah, which was weird because that's not her gimmick, but I guess it's, she's the...
It was interesting.
Her gimmick's supposed to be the showman, in the movie star, and she's supposed to do all this stuff, and she didn't really do any of it. But pretty good match. Kind of went the way I thought. I figured Toni Storm was going to win. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. Toni Storm's on a hell of a run here. She's got to lose it eventually. But right now, I don't see anyone that's on TV right now going to take it from her. They're going to have to bring somebody back, or debut somebody or something. Because
maybe Britt Baker comes back now.
Yeah. The next match, the match everyone was looking forward to, Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson. It went over 30 minutes, with Will Ospreay getting the win at the end, defeating Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, this was it was a good match. Don't get me wrong; it's a really good match. It's what we expected. It was really good. It had a good story to it. Basically, Will Ospreay wanted to prove he was better than Bryan Danielson at any cost, and he was just trying to straight up wrestle Bryan Danielson until Bryan Danielson basically just tell him to give him more, and then Will Ospreay flipped a switch and decided he was going to kill Bryan Danielson and
dropped him on his head.
And he he hit a hidden blade on him. Then he did that Tiger Driver where he just let him go and dropped him on his head. And then when the doctors were checking on him, they were getting ready to check on him. He hit him with another hidden blade to the back of the head, and pinned him. And then he was celebrating, and he was like, "Yeah, I am the man." And then he looked over and went, "Oh shit, what did I do?"
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It was a little over, you know, overdone in my opinion. But that's an Ospreay match. You know, he's gonna do it. It was good. I can't complain about it too hard. I mean, it was a good match. I
Can't
assume this.
complain at all, man. It was an awesome match.
I assume Bryan Danielson's gonna be off TV for a while now. Which is probably for his benefit.
And then in the press conference after the match, Will Ospreay says he's retiring that Tiger Driver. So
That's probably for the best. Then we had the ladder match for the vacant AEW World Tag Team Championships. The Young Bucks defeated FTR. They are now 2-2 against FTR. So we're going to have a fifth match eventually.
Yeah, this match was brutal. They did some stuff that I feel like FTR shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
I was fearing for their lives the whole match.
Yeah, they're not known as ladder guys, so
no, it was
out of
brutal,
their element.
Man. It was brutal. And then as everybody was figuring, towards the end, Jack Perry came back and cost FTR the match.
You mean the little kid that interrupted the match? Dude, he looked so small when he was getting, like, when the security grabbed him. It was like, God. And they're trying to make him a big deal, and I get it, but I just don't see it. I don't understand Jack Perry. I don't get it. I don't like it. And I just don't. He doesn't have it. I just don't know. He's decent in the ring, but personality-wise, it just doesn't. He doesn't seem to have it for me. He bores.
Yeah, I don't know. He might be trying to go with a Brian Tillman kind of thing.
I don't think he can pull that off, though.
Yeah,
we'll see. I'm gonna wait and hold my judgment. We did see a little bit of it on Dynamite, which we'll get into in a little bit here.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
But we had to get to the main event of Dynasty, the AEW World Championship on the line. Swerve Strickland finally did it as he defeats Samoa Joe to become the new AEW World Champion. It's about damn time. This should have happened at the last pay-per-view. But I'm glad it happened.
Yeah. This was a really good match. One of the highlights of the match was Joe, whenever, when people jump off the top rope and he just walks away from you. He tried to do that to Swerve, but Swerve, how he's like can change his body in midair and he's all like real smooth and everything. He looked like he was gonna miss Joe, but it like whipped his leg around and kicked him right in the face.
Pretty cool. I've never seen that. I've never seen anyone counter the Joe walk away before, so
yeah,
that was pretty cool. He won by doing the stomp to Joe, defeating him, becoming the champion. Fantastic. Let's hope he has a decent. I don't want him to be a champion for 9, 10, 11, 12 months. Give him about 3 to 4 months, and then let's put the title on Ospreay. But yeah, fantastic. Overall, Nathan, what are your thoughts on this pay-per-view? It was pretty. I mean, a couple matches were not very good, but overall, this was a pretty good pay-per-view. I mean, other than
I think 2 or 3 matches. Good. I think this is one of their best pay-per-views they've had, and they followed it up with a pretty good Dynamite, and Collision and Rampage was decent. So they're on a little bit of a run here, good show-wise. I mean,
show-wise, ratings-wise, and attendance-wise, not so much, but they are hopefully moving in the right direction. So we can get into right now, because
but as a fan, I don't care about that shit.
Well, yeah, I don't either. As a fan, I don't care either, but also as a fan, you kind of have to care a little bit because if they do get bad ratings, they may get taken off the air. So you kind of want them to have decent ratings. You don't want them to go out of business. So you kind of have to care a little bit about attendance. But yeah, they had Dynamite. It was back at Dowie's place in Jacksonville, Florida, which is their home turf. And it was a pretty good episode of Dynamite, obviously headlined by the Young Bucks and Jack Perry calling out Tony Khan, which is something that, we don't see very often. We don't see Tony Khan on TV very often. So when he came out, it was a pretty big deal. to see Tony Khan on television, and then they beat him up. I don't.
Yeah, Jack Perry basically tried to, bury the hatchet with Tony Khan, and they shook hands, and they acted like he was going to hug him, and then he punched him in the gut, but Tony Khan took a back bump. I'm pretty sure he thought he was going to clothesline him, and he took a back bump, and then the Young Bucks looked like they were going to pick him up and give him the double knees, and then Okada said no, and told him to pick him up and do the Tony Khan driver, Brian.
Yeah, they changed the name. It's the Tony Khan driver, not the Meltzer driver. They gave it to him, and then Tony Khan laid there like a statue. Pretty funny. The fact that he took a back bump on a shot to the gut made me laugh so fucking hard.
Like I said, I think he was expecting a clothesline.
He did sell it. I mean, he wore that neck brace on the NFL draft the next night.
That's hilarious.
He did an interview on NFL TV, NFL Network, and got into a little bit of controversy when he was talking about WWE, and he basically said the WWE is the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling.
Yeah, so
here's
the thing. I think, here's the thing. When I think he was going to say something else. I really think, because what he said was, when he led off with, he said that AEW is like the Pepsi of wrestling. And I think he was going to then say WWE is the Coke. But then I guess Vince McMahon popped in his brain, and then so he decided to say the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling. And then the other guys on that show were a little
they were like, okay.
We need to change the subject, because
it was the weirdest comparison. Because like you can't say you're the Pepsi and then say the other people are the Harvey Weinstein. Like it's not.
It was it's because of the Vince McMahon allegations is why he said it. But I don't think he should have brought that up there. That was not the time.
No, there was not the time. And you have Ric Flair in your company.
Yeah.
And Chris Jericho, who was recently called out for some stuff. So, like, I don't know if you should even be saying stuff, because there's people on your roster that aren't exactly clean of that kind of stuff. So,
yeah,
it just felt like, I feel like he didn't know what he was going to say, and he said something, and I mean, they said reports are that even people in AEW were like, yeah, that was probably out of line. Probably shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, they had a decent week of programming here last week.
Before we move on, Ryan, before we end what?
Yeah, no, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, before we end this AEW episode, I was gonna say, Rampage ended the week of AEW with one of the worst matches I've ever seen in my life.
You just gave them praise for how good they had.
It was a parking lot brawl. Well, yeah, but this match was bad, Ryan. It was a parking lot brawl with Chuck Taylor and Trip Beretta. This was the last thing you got to see of the week. I'm telling you right now, dude, this looked like a match that we would have had when we were in high school, and it was on TV. Like, they were doing stuff on these cars, and they pulled a door from under a car. Why would a door be under a car? And they were walking around. One guy climbed on. Chuck Taylor climbed on top of the car for no reason, and then so Trip Beretta followed him up there, and then it looked like backyard wrestling. It was that should never have been on TV.
Yeah. It ended with a pile driver on the hood of a car, and then he kind of like choked him out. But yeah, I've never been a real fan of parking lot matches anyway. Like, and so
they're okay, but you got to know what you're like. You got to still make it like a wrestling match. You can't just walk around. Like, these guys were just. Yeah. If you watch it, Ryan, it looked like a backyard wrestling match.
That's I mean, you look at like parking lot matches, like Guerrero and Cena had a great one, because they still told a story and there's sort of psychology to it. And it wasn't just two people walking around fake punching each other. And bleeding. Just the bleed.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty good week for AEW. We'll see if they can capitalize on that this week. Tony Khan teased some stuff for Dynamite that, you know, he might be on the show this week. And that, you know, we might be, even though I don't want to see it, he teased kind of like a power struggle type of situation. So if you want to claim that AEW is not WCW, if we start doing some NWO bullshit here, I'm just going to say we're going to about to. So we'll see what happens tonight on Dynamite. And we should, hopefully they can capitalize on this good week of shows they had last week and keep the momentum going, because I do want to see them have good shows and, you know, book better. So hopefully we're maybe going in the right direction. So, all right. That's going to do it for our quick little Dynasty / AEW review for the week. Again, we'll be back on track next week, and tune in tomorrow as we talk about the WWE draft. I bet that gets spicy.
Or boring.
Yeah, you know, we'll see. So we will see you tomorrow for the WWE draft review.